Thanks very much. It's a nice to pick up with the pen as it were. I'd like to thank the party leader and to thank Joe and Percy for nominating me, and to thank you all as members of Dublin Central for giving me the honour to be your nominated candidate for the by-election on the 5th of June. As Eamon has said, it's a by-election that's been necessitated by the death of Tony Gregory. So of course, you know, we all, I think, would just like to remember Tony Gregory and the enormous work he did for the area. And I know that's on the back of all our minds when we're out canvassing and campaigning. I've canvassed in this area quite extensively in the past, and I'm very grateful to all of you who came out in 2004 and contributed to such a high Labour vote and such a high vote for me. It was, in particular, it was the third highest Dublin constituency I canvassed in terms of vote in the European election in 2004. And between Cronchias and I, we nearly pulled off 2 seats for Dublin at that stage, and it was in no small measure due to the enormously hard work of all of you in Dublin Central. I know in particular the postering and leaflet dropping, really the level of work carried out by members in Dublin Central was second to none at that time. So I'm really grateful to all of you for, and I think this is the first time I've had the chance to say it, I'm really grateful to you all for working so hard in that election, and I really look forward to working with all of you equally hard in the coming weeks. And I'm very grateful for all of your support, and in particular for the many individual messages of support I've had from Dublin Central members in the last few days. I'm really grateful for that too. You know, I think this is a vitally important time to be mounting a by-election campaign. Probably, you know, this is an unprecedented time, as we know, of economic gloom, you know, every day bringing more economic bad news. And at this time, more than ever, we really do need to be presenting to people a credible alternative government. I think that all of you, Eamon Gilmore has been the only person who's been presenting a really credible alternative leadership to the cronyism and incompetence that has marked the days of the Fianna Fáil Green government that we've seen. And particularly in recent months, we've seen the government floundering from crisis to crisis without any clear idea of where they're going. And I think we really do know now how much we need to present an alternative. As you know, I've worked for many years in education. I worked in the legal field, not very far from here in the forecourt, and you know, I really want to continue to work to try and ensure that everybody has equality of access to education, and that we see a better future for our children, and a better standard of public services, and a better standard of life for all of us. I firmly believe in the coming weeks that we can win the seat in Dublin Central. I've been out canvassing all over Dublin, including here in recent weeks and months, with candidates in the local elections. There's a palpable frustration and anger with the government, even a rage. But there's also an equally strong desire for change and for the credible alternative I'm talking about. An alternative with plans to get people back to work in particular. And jobs, you all be aware of this from all the canvassing you've been doing, that jobs and the economy are the 2 big issues dominating. More than any local issue, we're seeing national issues dominating this campaign through every constituency across Ireland. And perhaps in Dublin Central, more than any other, or as much as any other, there's been a real sense of frustration and a sense of anger at the incompetence of the government, and at the great price that we're all paying for that incompetence and for the cronyism that we've seen really has marked Fianna Fáil and the Greens over the last few years. It's our job, I think, in coming weeks to really harness the desire for change and ensure that it pays off in terms of votes for Labour. Eamon Gilmore, Joan Burton and the Labour Party, I think, have put forward a real alternative, a common sense alternative in terms of their policies, and an alternative to the slash and burn politics of Fianna Fáil and the Greens. Some see this election as a contest between those who condemn the government the loudest. There's a danger in that we're always seen to be negative, but I don't see it that way, because for one thing, this government has really done enough to condemn itself in terms of causing so much anger among the electorate, in terms of an enormous amount of own goals. So I see the by-election as an opportunity for us to present a positive alternative, and to say there is a better way, and there is a way that we can ensure that there are alternative economic policies put forward, and alternative policies which emphasise job creation and the need to ensure economic recovery. So it's time to show voters the old politics of the past won't work, and to win the trust and support of voters for a different approach and for a real left-wing alternative. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be helping you to present that alternative and to present an alternative government. I'm very grateful in particular to Joe as the sitting TD for welcoming me to this constituency, and also to, of course, to the sitting councillors and the by-election candidates. And I've spoken already with Emer, with Mick, with Claire and with Anya, and I really look forward to canvassing with all of you in the coming weeks and ensuring that we do present a real credible alternative to the Fianna Fáil Green government, and that we ensure that we can win this by-election. And I believe we can. We can win this by-election, and we can ensure 2 Labour TDs for Dublin Central. And I look forward to working with you to ensure that outcome on the 5th of June. Thank you very much.